I'm really happy that I decided to record when I get a mouth ulcer and it's hurting to talk right now. So let's see how this goes. Screw it, it's E3. We'll do it live. Let's go. Come on. The mystical beast that is E3, the wondrous corporate machine that is E3, is happening. It's a very exciting time for fans of games and people who just like to criticize and shout at press conferences a lot. I guess it's a good time for them. But in this video, I wanted to give you my top 10 most ridiculous things that are most likely going to happen at E3, because E3 can, I guess, sprout up some ridiculousness sometimes. So I thought the 10 most ridiculous things that could actually happen at E3. Here is my list. Right, the first one is Rocksteady is lying to you. So recently I saw that Rocksteady have said that they're not going to be at E3. They're not going to show their new game. If you don't know who Rocksteady are, the last game they created was the Batman Arkham Knight game, which came out in 2015. And since then, people have been wondering what the hell they're going to make. They did say a 1 year, I think about 2 years ago, they said they're not going to make a new Batman game. This is a completely new thing they're going to work on. And people have been guessing and guessing what the hell it is. It's been 4 years since Batman Arkham Knights. Especially when a company comes out and says, we're definitely not going to be there, makes me honestly think that, yeah, they're going to be there. Well, they're going to not be there, but they're going to show something off. And what my first prediction is, God, this mouth ulcer is killing me. My first prediction is that they will show off a trailer. I think most likely during the Xbox conference, because Sony's not there, obviously, they will show just a tease. It could be a minute long, but it will kind of give us an idea of what they're working on. Hopefully, we'll see. This is a completely out there guess because they have recently said that they're not actually going to be E3. I think they're lying. I think there's going to be a trailer shown and you'll see Rocksteady and then something. So that's my first prediction. Prediction number 2, we are going to get at least one hardware announcement. So this comes from 2 conferences. So the Microsoft conference on Sunday and then the Nintendo conference that comes on Tuesday, I believe. So we know Microsoft are working on the next Xbox. Whether they're going to show that or not, because of what Sony's planning to do, which we already know is kind of them not being at E3, and then they're going to have their own thing where they show their own, console at their own events. Will Microsoft show, oh yeah, look, we've got this magical box that does, I don't know, 12K and 240 frames a second, and it's the size of a dish or something. They could possibly show something. I think we're going to at least get one hardware reveal. On the Nintendo side, with the Switch, there was rumors of a Switch Mini or Switch Pro version. So I think the Pro version is less likely, because if you have a Pro version of a Switch, you're anticipating more powerful games to come on it, and that's kind of the Switch's limitation right now, is that it can play good games, and it can play games that have decent enough graphics in it, but can't do anything amazing graphics wise. What's more likely to happen is that they'll release like a kids version like they did with the 2DS. I think it was just called the 2DS, which is that weird thing that cost about £60 or $80 or something, that was made for kids, and it was like indestructible. I think something like that's going to be shown. It's going to be a little bit cheaper, but it's going to be made mainly for kids, so that if they drop the Switch, it's not going to crack or anything, or you get scratches. It could be both of these things. It could be just one, it could be just a Switch, new Switch, or it could be the new Xbox. But I think at least one of these things are going to happen at E3. My money is on the Xbox. Prediction number 3 is that Fallout 76 is going free to play. Fallout 76 didn't do too well. We all know that. They need to get players back on their side. They need something that will, they've lost a bit of reputation. Bethesda. I know I pronounced Bethesda wrong, but that's just the way I pronounced it all these years, and I can't stop pronouncing it that way. So I'm just going to call it the Fallout team. The Fallout team have lost a bit of reputation because of what happened with Fallout 76. And they kind of need to get people back to it. It is not a dead game entirely, but it's died quite drastically. They need something that's going to get people excited about 76. Now, they have said they wanted Fallout 76 to be something that lasts a long time. I still think that's the case. Todd Howard recently talked about it, like he finally did an interview about Fallout 76 about a week or so ago, and he pretty much said some weird stuff, like he said he didn't expect good reviews when it came out, and yeah, why would you release the game if you didn't expect it to be a good game? You know, why not just keep it under wraps for a bit? Anyway, that's a whole entire different conversation. But I think one of the most important things he said was that Fallout 76 will be a better game in the future. So the future is now. So I think that they're going to put Fallout 76 in a much better state. They're going to do a huge new update for it. In order to get players back into it, they're probably going to make it a bit more, I think free to play is probably the best route, even though a lot of people already bought it. I think free to play is just like a little thing they add on there so that maybe friends can join in with them, so they don't have to have that barrier to buy the game. Something like Destiny 2 recently announced. So I think it's a high chance of happening. Again, these are ridiculous like predictions, but I think there is a chance that this could happen. It could go free to play. They launch a brand new update for it. They do the same kind of thing they did with the Elder Scrolls Online. Prediction number 4 is that Xbox will win E3 and they will announce a ton of games. Now, Xbox has not shied away from the subject that they need exclusives. They actually talked about this in last E3. Phil Spencer mentioned that we need to get more exclusives going. And he also announced the partnership of a lot of studios working with Xbox. So they recently as well said that they have 14 games in development exclusive to the Xbox. I think it's more likely that we're going to see a lot of them on show in this E3. They have to, really. The last E3 was okay for Xbox, but they didn't show enough exclusive-wise to get people hyped. I think they were saving a lot of it for when they could possibly really show it off. I think that's what they're going to do here, especially with Sony out of the way. Same thing with the hardware thing. Sony's out of the way. It's kind of their main show this year, as well as Switch, I know. But out of like the two big boys, there's no Microsoft. There's no Sony. There's only Microsoft this year. I think they're going to show a lot, and it should get a lot of Xbox owners excited. Hopefully it should do. But I think they're going to show a lot of games on that conference. It's going to be a good maybe 2.5 hour conference. There's going to be a lot of things shown. Prediction number 5, Cyberpunk 2077 will be released in 2020, not 2019. Will be shown at the Xbox conference and will absolutely steal the show. I am a massive fanboy of Cyberpunk. There's a separate video I'm putting out after E3 which kind of explains why I'm so excited for this Cyberpunk to come out. It's literally my dream game, and I can tell you in that video when it comes out why it's my dream game, but that's for another video basically. But Cyberpunk, I think it's definitely more likely that if they're going to pick a date, they're going to pick something that coincides with the actual release of the tabletop game that it's referring to. So Cyberpunk 2020, if in case you don't know, 2077 is based off a RPG tabletop game called Cyberpunk 2020, and it's more likely they will release it in 2020 if they're going to release it, which I think they will. I think some of the demos and the footage we've been seeing that they've kind of shown, especially last year, have been things they've kept for a long time, and it's a lot of people thought it was quite recent, but I think there's a lot to suggest that they kept that demo or that footage that they showed off last year for a good year or so. And I think they're much more further ahead than we think. Why would they say this year is going to be the biggest showing or case we have of Cyberpunk 2077? People should get excited. They're hyping people up. It's coming out next year. I can guarantee you Cyberpunk 2077 is coming out next year. Prediction number 6, and something very close to my bloody heart, is Final Fantasy VII Episode 1 will release in 2019, probably towards the end of the year. Yes, like many others, I'm a Final Fantasy VII kid. I grew up on that game. I adore that game, like many others. Especially when they got close to E3, they released another trailer just before E3 was coming. And you wouldn't really do that unless you got something planned for E3. And Square Enix have their own conference. Let's hope it's not as bad as the last one. Jesus, that was something else. But they wouldn't release any kind of trailer beforehand if they weren't going to announce something. So I think that Episode 1 of Final Fantasy VII Remake is coming out this year, towards the end of the year. And hopefully it doesn't break my fragile child heart. Please don't break it. Prediction number 7, we're going to get teased a new Nier game. Now, I'm currently playing because I put it off so much, and I shouldn't have, because I know this game is going to be amazing to me, and I just put it off so long. But I'm currently playing the current Nier game, so Nier Automata, and they recently told everyone they sold 4 million units of this game very recently. And again, usually when something like E3 is coming up and someone puts a statement out, that's when I usually go, oh yeah, okay, why are you doing that now? I understand you sold 4 million units, but E3 is very close. Maybe you want people to get on the hype train a little bit. I usually look at that kind of thing and go, yeah, there's something going on. So I do think, though, that because of the success of Nier Automata, that they will tease something like a new Nier game. It probably won't be called Nier Automata 2 because the first game was called Nier, and then the second game was called Nier Automata. So it could be Nier a Chicken Dance or something. I don't know. But they will tease something. I honestly think they're going to tease something. Don't know when it's going to be out. I don't think they'll do a release date or anything, but I do think they're going to announce that they're making a new Nier game. So there you go. I can't say anything about Nier Automata because I'm still playing it, and I'm probably going to love it. It's probably going to be one of my favorite games ever, but I can't say anything yet. Wait for a review. I'm going to do a review and I put it on this channel, so look out for that. Prediction number 8. The company I can't pronounce, called Bethesda, are going to show off Starfield gameplay. So if you look at like that conference and think, how are they going to spread this out? Like, if it's going to be an hour long, what's going to be shown? So Doom is probably going to take up the most amount of time. I know there's a new Wolfenstein kind of side project that's coming up for the last Wolfenstein game. Rage is already out. You know, Fallout 76 is already out, and as I said, they're probably going to talk about that a little bit and go, yeah, we're going to do stuff for that. They'll probably do Elder Scrolls Legends and all the other stuff that they do. But there's got to be something that's going to be like something we haven't heard of or something we haven't really seen. And we've seen Doom, a little bit of it, but there's got to be something to get people really excited. Now they're going to show Elder Scrolls 6 because they've said recently that Starfield is their next big thing. Elder Scrolls 6 is way down the pipeline. So why not surprise everyone and show actual gameplay footage? Maybe not a release date, but just tease something and show Starfield off. You know, they've been saying they said it since last E3 especially. They were like, we're making this game called Starfield. Here's a little trailer for it. A tiny little trailer. Why not show a little bit more? They usually do that with conferences. They show off a tiny little thing, the next conference is a bigger thing, and then the next conference after that is a release date. It takes like a 3-year process to get a game out, to be honest. So I think there's going to be some sort of gameplay with Starfield. Maybe not a lot of it, maybe about 5, maybe 10-minute thing, but I still think they're going to show off Starfield. So let's see how that looks like, because it's a space game, and that's very strange for this company to do. Prediction number 9 is the Switch Online will finally get new games from different platforms. Don't know what platforms yet. We could guess that's the Nintendo 64. There could be, we've already got like Nintendo Entertainment System, Super Nintendo Entertainment System. They could mix it up. I think what they could do, but again, Nintendo are very just like, you want them to do something and they won't do it like all the time. So this one is one of my predictions that's like, I don't think it's going to happen, but I put it in there anyway because it could. Again, ridiculous predictions, but this one is the most ridiculous because it's Nintendo. So I think they could possibly, every single month, they could release like 2 or 3 games, 1 game from each different platform, whether that be, I don't know, Game Boy, GameCube, even SNES game. You just put like a different type of platform in there every single month. Will they do that? No, they definitely won't. So moving on. And finally, the Switch will get a lot of AAA ports. So So the Switch has ports, and we all know the Switch has ports, and there's some good ports, and the majority actually have been really, really good ports. There's been a Doom port, there's been a Wolfenstein port, a lot of Bethesda ports come over. We've had like Rocket League, and they're kind of indie titles really, but we've had like Saints Row recently. Saints Row 3 came out. The Switch is a designated indie machine. That's what it currently is at the moment. And that was great for the first year or so. First 2 years, it was fantastic. I could play all my indie games on my Switch. Fantastic. But now it kind of needs to get into that situation where it needs to be a lot more than that. And I think what they're going to show off is just a ton of ports for this game. So I'm talking, there could be a possible Overwatch. Possibly. What else is on my list? We got, I think this could happen because of previous titles that have been on Switch. Fallout 3. Why not? Maybe even Fallout New Vegas. Why not? Probably not New Vegas, but Fallout 3. Why not? I've got Persona. For crying out loud, why isn't Persona on the Switch? You've got it in Super Smash Bros. You've got Joker in Super Smash Bros. And you don't even have a game out. Please put Persona 5 on the Switch, please, so I can actually finish it, because I'll never finish it if I have to sit on my couch all the time to play it. Please. And also, I put on here as something that's probably not going to interest a lot of people, but I think something like Madden could go on the Switch, because the only kind of like sports game on there at the moment is a FIFA game, and that's pretty much it. There's other sports titles, but they're not like one of the big sports titles. For people that have no interest in that, but I like American football, so I think something like Madden on the Switch would be super, super cool. So I would really like that. So I think the Switch is going to get a lot of games announced. The majority of them will be ports. I do hope they show Astral Chain a lot, because I'm very intrigued by Astral Chain. That's the kind of first party thing they're doing with that game. But I think the Switch is going to go in their conference port. I just think there's going to be a constant stream of ports coming into the Switch. Some of them could be released during that conference. They could say, oh, after today you can get Overwatch or Persona 5. Please, for the love of God, put Persona 5 on the Switch, please. Anyway, that's been my top 10 ridiculous lists predictions for E3 2019. I do hope you enjoy the show. I will be doing stuff over the week during E3 week on this channel. Sometimes live streams, maybe not. I don't know when I'm going to be free to do live streams or when I'm going to be able to just set them up or anything. But there will be videos reviewing each conference, what we found out, what we learned, what's the talking points, everything like that. And I'm going to probably be very, very tired because I live in the UK and all the times for these conferences are at the bloody morning, like 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. But I will try my best to put just everything that happened, like everything I could possibly fit into a very short video for you. And there'll be lots of videos, so check them out. If it's the first time here, please subscribe. I'm out of breath. My mouth really fucking hurts right now because of this ulcer. And I'm going to stop recording now because I need to put some stuff on my face because this is really hurting me. So thank you very much for watching. Enjoy E3. I'll see you in the next few days. Bye bye.